Thank you for joining us for Chatting in the Void, a conversational podcast hosted by Cthulhu Tilly and Holic.
Alright, so this is going to be episode 2 of our shenanigans here.
Yes, it is.
Last time, what is it we talked about last time? We talked about Overwatch.
We talked about
how
Overwatch.
Games have changed over time. How the expectation of those games have changed. Oh, your camera froze.
Oh, it did?
Oh, there you are. There you are. You're back.
Okay,
what else we talked? Oh, then we talked about how you almost died a bunch of times.
we did.
That was fun.
We did.
Disgusting Alaskan Canadian dude.
Yeah. Very much so.
So, anything interesting that's happened to you in the past 2 weeks?
In the past 2 weeks, anything interesting? No, I have worked 91 hours in the past 2 weeks, though.
91 hours? Right,
In the past 2 weeks.
That's like a full-time job. What have you been doing?
I have been working my full-time job.
Yeah, weird. Huh, okay.
Yeah, weird that happens.
Makes
but
sense.
no, it's been like this week. I worked more hours today, so I worked like 51 hours this week. I think is actually where I'm at, which I'm at 90. I worked 40 last week.
Okay. I was gonna say because
Maybe it's
91
more.
divided by 2, that's like 45 hours and a half.
I don't
week.
know. I've worked a number of hours. That's unreasonable, and I'm
A non-zero amount of hours. Got it.
A lot of hours. Yeah, I worked 51 hours since Monday, and so that's all I know. And I went rock climbing last night again, which was fun. But that's pretty much
Did you
it.
destroy anything this time?
I did not get hurt this time, although I did climb up a very intense climb that was rather painful, but I didn't hurt anything. It just took a while. And it was exhausting. Okay.
Just note, you stop at the as soon as the tutorial starts, just stop there for now.
Okay.
But,
okay. I'm gonna launch it here.
Yeah, it's just we're gonna have to download after that. I sent you my Steam code on Discord, so you can.
I did see that. I'm trying to add you, but it's being slow. There we go. Okay.
Put some music to buy too, also.
Oh, we are already friends. Okay. All right. Cool. It's telling me we're already friends on Steam. Yes. Okay. I found you. All right. We're good. All right.
Nice.
English. All right. I'm gonna turn the volume on this shit down. I don't need to worry about region, do I?
No. You speak North America, fine. I queue against the Japanese all the time in Master Duel.
Okay. Should I... Will it let me skip tutorials if I just click yes, I still play?
No.
Okay, all right. I'll just answer the question honestly.
Yeah.
Have you... No, I have not heard of that app. All right. I see a triangle and a circle. Cool. All right. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Aim to become the world's top duelist. I don't... Okay.
We're gonna be talking about said game in a bit.
Okay.
And how it's changed.
Yeah, it's gonna apparently have to teach me some things, so feel free to I can multitask. So if we want to talk about something different, or if you want me to like stream what I'm seeing,
we'll do that later. Just keep it there, and we'll touch on that when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Twintail? Welcome to the chat. We are going to be having a bit of a chat here in a moment.
Yeah, we're going to be apparently playing Master Duel. Okay. I guess battle phase. Let's try attacking a monster. No. Okay, the arrows on this game. All right, I see. All right. Cool. I killed something. That's fun.
Yeah, hold on. I meant to stop at the tutorial. Stop when it starts. Stop right there.
Okay. I am stopping now. I need to. There we go. It finally let me adjust the volume, which is good.
The volume, yeah.
It's very loud and it was hard to hear you. So I was trying to get to the point where it let me do that. So now we're at that point. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So Tilly, what games have you played this week? What did you do for fun when you got to your computer, outside of browsing in private mode?
I didn't do any browsing in private mode this week. And,
sure.
I pretty much only played Overwatch this week, ironically enough.
Really? Overwatch?
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I played this week. I played with the same group of friends for a little bit. I think I played some Minecraft too, but that's pretty much it. I didn't really play very many games this week because I've been working and sleeping. And that's pretty much it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because you've been working like crazy.
Yeah.
You said earlier you're working full-time job.
Yeah.
Man, being an adult, man.
It sucks.
Feels that, man.
It does.
It really does.
It does. Yeah. It's really unfortunate. I wish I were not, but
While you were being an adult, I was being an unemployed adult, and I just play games all week for the past couple of weeks.
All right. Including, I noticed that you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, so...
Yes. So this game, man, this Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, man, it's been a wild ride for it. I remember my first experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the anime back in the early 2000s. I was just a kid, and the show I aired in Cartoon Network, I think it was, or Nickelodeon. I can't remember exactly which one was it, but it aired on one of those two channels, and we were watching it with my brother. And my brother and I, we got so hyped about that.
Right.
The moment episode 1 ended,
right,
we were cutting pieces of paper and making our own Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and playing with them.
That's actually impressive.
That's how hyped we were. I remember. We went to the back of the house, and we were just like making our own rules, making our own cards. We couldn't draw for shit. It was just literally we cut pieces of paper almost with our own hands. They were like whatever, and we just wrote numbers in them and we were trying to play with them. We didn't even know the rules.
Right.
We were just fucking around because I was 7, he was 5.
Right.
And, we were just messing, and that's how it all started. It's like the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing for a lot of people was not the card game itself. It was the show. The show was what made it cool. Kind of like how for a lot of people, Dragon Ball Z, the video games weren't what called them in. It was the show itself. Did you watch DBC as a kid, by any chance?
No.
You've never watched Dragon Ball Z either?
No.
What about One Piece?
I have watched the first 100 and something episodes of One Piece that I watched earlier this year.
Okay. And how do you feel watching One Piece? I mean, because that's like a big show in...
Huh? One Piece was interesting. It was interesting. It's one of those things where it's like, I watched it, I enjoyed what I watched, but when I stopped watching, I wasn't like... I think I reached the end of what's on Netflix or something like that, or on whatever streaming platform I was on, and I was like, all right, like I wasn't like drawn in to be like I have to finish it. I was like, that's cool. Luffy's kind of cool. That's an interesting character, but I wasn't entranced by it.
I love Luffy, man.
Yeah.
Hot take coming in. Luffy is my favorite asexual character in all of anime.
You know what? I can see that.
He is straight up asexual. Later on, he gets literal boobies all over his face, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" He has the fucking most beautiful women in the entire world in front of him, just fucking showing everything, and then he's like, "Huh? What's going on?
He doesn't care.
Do you have any food? I'm hungry." He's my favorite asexual character, and nobody can say that he's not asexual. He has a track record of not getting it on anywhere at any time.
I have no idea. That's my personal.
Yeah,
I don't think I reached that point in the anime.
You need to keep watching. But here, the point is, stuff like One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Yu-Gi-Oh! It started as a shonen manga.
Right.
And shonen manga has a certain appeal for young people, you know?
Right.
Right? It's like the protagonist is fucking cool. He has fucking spikes for hairs. He could stab a motherfucker with them. You know, same with Goku. You know, same with a bunch of other protagonists. It's the appeal of that. You want to be that cool. You want to have fun like that. You want to be as strong as those protagonists. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Was kind of like that too. It had that cool factor for me. I fell in love with the game. I fell in love with the show, and I especially fell in love with the art, the art of the characters. I have here in my binder the first 3 decks Yugi played with during the anime, and they sold them as a bundle now. There's it's not even that expensive, it's like $30 or something. You get all 3 decks from the anime, and I saw that and insta bought that. It's no hesitation.
Makes sense.
Because I'm just very in love with the old school art of Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's some changes that they've done, but I still really, really, really enjoy the newer art. Yeah. So for me, that was the appeal. That was what grabbed me. That was the hook of the game, and for a lot of people, it's the same thing.
Yeah. I can see that.
Kind of sucks that it kind of sucks to me that you didn't get that as a kid, you know. Yeah. Because I can tell you right now, every kid back in my school when we were 7, when we were 8, everybody was fucking talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Everybody was making their own cards. Everybody was when the cards actually came out for consumer a year later. Everybody was playing in the background. And everybody was messing around. Did you not see anybody as a kid in your school or playing Yu-Gi-Oh! By any chance?
No.
Would that happen? No.
You have to remember I was raised in a true redneck culture, as in everything. But that's the thing. It's
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of considered a redneck thing here in the States, especially in the South. I don't know how it is in Alaska. I mean, you're a different breed of redneck.
I don't live in Alaska. I live in Colorado, but it's where I live. It is very it's a little different. It's a little different, and
it's a little different. Okay.
The rural community here, they understand my value with computers, but they wouldn't you can't talk about anime with anybody here. At least none of the people I grew up with. None of them would understand, except for maybe one or two.
Fix my printer.
Yeah, exactly. Shut up, fix my printer. Shut up, fix my computer. I don't want to talk about your dumb children's shows. And so, that's what we're here for. And I mean, that's what they would tell their kids too. So it's not like they would, as an adult, I get treated the same way I would have been treated as a kid, which was that's weird. Even okay, so I had a couple of Pokemon cards, and pretty much everybody I knew thought that it was weird that I had Pokemon cards.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
See, for me, in the place that I grew up, the whole Pokemon thing didn't took off as hard as Yu-Gi-Oh! Took off. Yu-Gi-Oh! Took way harder than Pokemon in my stuff. So if somebody had Pokemon cards, I was like, the fuck? Get the hell out of here. Where's your Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, you stupid nerd? That's what it was. But I know in the US the Pokemon thing was a lot more popular than Yu-Gi-Oh! Was for sure. Yeah. That sucks. I'm sorry that you didn't get that. Because for me, this whole Yu-Gi-Oh thing, it was a gateway for me.
Right.
It's kind of like a gateway drug. Not only into trading card games, but a lot of like fantasy. Because the early Yu-Gi-Oh cards were all about dark fantasy. It was all about like, dark spirits, demons, monsters. Nowadays, it's like a lot more expanded.
Right.
Yeah, there's an archetype for everything. But what I really, really, really enjoy about Yu-Gi-Oh today, over Magic the Gathering, over Pokemon, over Hearthstone even, it's that it realized what it had over the other trading card games, and it just took off with it. And that thing is the only thing that keeps me playing anymore, and that is thematic. What's the word I'm looking for? Thematic something. Well, like basically a deck is tied around a theme. You have a dragons deck. You have a dragons deck. That's what you go with. That's what you play. You play dragons. You have a magician's deck. You go with magicians. You have a dinosaur deck. You go with dinosaurs. And even within those categories, and within the dragon category, okay, there is Blue Eyes White Dragons deck. There's Red Eyes White Dragons deck. There is the combination of both decks. There is Dragon Maid's deck. This is one of my favorite decks. You should watch the show Kobayashi's Dragon Maid by any chance?
No.
No? It's an anime where it's a jury anime where the protagonist is this worker that works overtime in software development, and one night she gets fucking drunk and meets a mystical dragon and then ends up hiring the dragon as her maid, and then it's just kind of like slice from life from there. It's hilarious. It's one of the most fun and funny animes that I've watched in recent time. But then they took that as an inspiration and made an entire archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's an entire archetype about VTubers. There's an entire archetype about
interesting.
There's a little bit of everything for everybody in this game.
All right, I can see that.
Sadly, it's not perfect. Like, we're gonna see why in a moment when we start playing. The game can be very convoluted and very complicated at times. But what I really enjoy about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that I can make a deck, and my entire deck can revolve around a theme, and it's not compromised because of it. In Magic the Gathering, I can't just make a deck about one archetype. Like, I was playing back in 2019 when I was getting into Magic the Gathering. I was playing Ravnica, the Ravnica block, the new Ravnica block. And, Ravnica is all about the guilds, right? It's about... did you ever play Magic?
No.
Or do you know a little about Magic? So, anyway, in that game... In Ravnica, there's 10 guilds, and each guild is kind of like its own archetype. But I could never just play one archetype. You had to like mix and match. You had to grab bits and pieces from all over the place, and that's kind of like the whole theme of Ravnica. But Magic as a whole is also like that. Like a year later or 2 years later, after the Ravnica cards rotated out and then came in new archetypes, you still couldn't just stick to one. If you wanted to be competitive. If you wanted to be competitive and you wanted to win, you had to grab bits and pieces from all over the place, and you couldn't thematically build a deck just for that.
I see. Okay.
Just for that one thing. You can't do it.
I can see.
In Yu-Gi-Oh! You can, and not only can you do it, but you're better off doing so than before.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I really like. Same thing with Hearthstone. If you ever played Hearthstone, you can't just have cards from one expansion or one theme.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You have to grab a dragon from here, grab a minion from there, grab a spell from over here, and all that, and just mix and try to like make the best thing possible. But no, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not like that. Yu-Gi-Oh! Says, fuck that shit. Here's a bunch of dragon mates. Put them all on the deck. Have fun, and you can still win.
Interesting.
Have you ever played to do so?
There's a card game-esque game called think it's like Storybook something. I can't remember. It's on Steam. It's kind of like an indie one of these, and it's very focused on thematic. I'll have to look it up for you, and I'll shoot you a link to it later. I don't know much about it. I have a couple of friends who play it, and they really like it. It's one of those. It's kind of like a card game where it's like you have these different characters that have all these different abilities, and you lay them out in your team, and it's like an auto battler, I think is what it's technically called. So it's like it has less choice involved in it. It just kind of automatically battles for you, but kind of like an auto chess style thing. But it's very focused on like you build around a thematic, very similar. I think, you know, a lot of auto battlers are that way. A lot of auto chess is that way, where it's like you're trying to get a certain number of a certain things to reach a goal that makes you stronger and stuff like that. And I always found that really interesting. And I thought maybe that would be kind of similar. I don't know though. But yeah, I get what you're going for. I get what you're saying.
There's been an absolute explosion of trading card games recently, of like the card game genre. It has expanded so much. And it brings me to the overarching theme that I want to talk about today.
Okay.
Because I've been talking about shonen, I've been talking about anime, I've been talking about trading card games.
Right.
I'm talking about fantasy. You know, what's the overarching thing, Tilly? Let me quiz you here. What's the overarching thing that connects all of these?
What's the overarching thing that connects anime, trading card games, like, and just fantasy in general, or what?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean,
let's give it a quick shot. It doesn't matter if you're wrong or anything.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're going for. I would say like the commonality in them is they're an escape, but I don't know. That's just me.
Escapism, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you go close, but it's in general it's nerd culture.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Nerd culture.
Nerd culture has changed. It really has. Because when you were talking about you know showing those Pokemon cards to someone, and they being like, "What the hell is this?" You know, I get it. Back in those days, back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, I get it. But now, what I talk about now in general is how nerd culture has become mainstream.
Yeah.
How it's no longer quote unquote cringe to be nerd.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. It's not only okay. Sometimes like it's even cool.
Yeah.
There's been a reversal. Sure. There's been a total reversal of the nerd role in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
But
it is interesting how that's definitely happened. I can definitely see that.
Absolutely. So do you have anything to say? I kind of cut you off earlier.
No, you're good. I mean, escapism, I definitely feel like escapism and nerd culture are intricately tied together, very much so. And I think that's a really interesting element of it. But we can go into philosophy and psychology another time on that if we want to, because I know quite a bit about that. But yeah, I've never really played any card games, really. Like, I collected Pokemon cards, but like I said, I never had anybody to play with. So I never really had that experience of playing the games. Also, like I said, it's like I've never seen the Pokemon anime. I've never seen DBZ. I've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh. I've never seen any of the supporting media, I'll say, what really drew people into those things. I played a couple of Pokemon games, but like I played the games for the game, and I didn't really think about the supporting culture behind them because I would never, I never was able to find that here in the community that I was in. And don't get me wrong, it exists here. There are definitely nerds, and I found them later in life, back when I was getting into like high school and stuff like that. When I was able to really socially branch out and find more people, I was able to find people who were interested in those things, who were interested in gaming, interested in card games, stuff like that. But the problem was that at that point in my life, they had already been doing it for 20 years, right? And I hadn't. And so like trying to then delve into that with them was really overwhelming, honestly, because it's like,
you have to like, catch up on it.
Yeah, I'm playing a game that this person has been playing for most of their life, or at least half of their life, and I've never even touched it before. And them trying to explain it to me, and you know, I definitely ran into the nerd communication challenge of like, nerds are usually bad at communicating. Let's be honest.
Here, let me explain you the last. Explain you all the rules of the game in 5 seconds. Why you don't get this? You're just such a dumb.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of
I've been
I explained all the rules to you.
Person.
How didn't you get that? I was like, you didn't tell me I needed these things. I don't know how this works. Like, but this is basic for all card games. Yeah, and I've never played listen, I'll beat your ass in poker, but I can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I can play other card games as in the essence of like actual card games that I grew up with, because I grew up in a culture where that was respected, but like not like trading card games. Trading card games I could never get into. And so later in life I did play like I don't know if you know about oh gosh, what's it called? There's like it's a game where you build your deck while you play. So it's like you have to buy the cards from like a store type thing.
No.
And
I think I know. It's Slay the Spire is one that comes to mind.
Yeah, Slay the Spire is one of those. Although that's a game. I actually have it behind me. Let me see if Dominion. It's sitting on my shelf. I played a lot of Dominion.
Real quick.
And it's like it's a physical card game, and you can buy different decks and stuff like that in different expansion packs. But it's one of those games where like you lay out your store and you have a certain number of things in the store, and then you're trying to build your deck and like draw out of your deck to fight somebody. And there's this goal in mind. I can't remember because I haven't played it in like 4 years now. But I played a lot of that with that group of people, and like games like that where you didn't have to know how to build a deck really. You learned how to build a deck just by playing the game. Instead of having to learn how to build a deck to play the game, you learned how to build a deck while playing the game. And I played a lot of those because it was just easier to get into, easier to enter into, and easier to win, even though I usually didn't win because once again, it's like, I don't know how people do it, kind of. And so it's like I've been, I've been slowly steeping my way into it, but I've never really delved into playing much. And so, yeah, that's where I came from, is like, I know vaguely because I've played a couple of rounds of Magic the Gathering, like 2, I think, but I don't remember anything because that was back in college. So that was like 4 years ago as well. And so it was like, I had a friend who was really into Magic the Gathering, and it was really hard because I wasn't able to keep up with him on like a lot of things he was saying. And then I won apparently, but I didn't I was just like playing I didn't know what I did. And that was really hard to do, I think, too, and deal with, because it's like I won and it felt easy to me, but I didn't understand anything that was going on. And I was like, I don't know how to do this.
No, Magic Gathering mechanically is a lot more complex than Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there. It has phases just like Magic the Gathering. There's a main phase, there's a battle phase, and etc. Magic the Gathering has a main phase too, kind of like a main phase. There's a attacker's phase, blocker declare phase, battle phase, stuff like this. It's a lot more complicated than that. But no, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is kind of like that, but it's a little bit more simplified. The game definitely has a lot of inspiration from Magic the Gathering, because Magic the Gathering came first, and then Yu-Gi-Oh! Came in. And fun fact, they actually had to redact some of the cards, the early Magic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! They're actually called Magic card. The category was Magic, but Magic the Gathering was like, it was just as the codes were like, no, you can't do that. That's a trademark. And then in the US version, they had to redact and change it to spell. So now they're called spell cards. So if you have, the old school cards, especially the rare ones that have the word magic on them, are worth more as a collector's item because of the novelty. That had to do.
That's cool.
Suing change. Anyways, I can't remember the words. I can't English right now.
Yeah.
Fuck. What was I? I completely lost my train of thought.
Magic the Gathering versus Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, thank you. So Magic it gets more complicated, but
okay.
Hopefully you find Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit more approachable. I think there's other areas that will definitely be more complicated than that. Something that Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't do that I am very upset that they don't do compared to Magic is the use of keywords.
Okay.
You know, Magic. You know, a minion would have something like haste or vigilance. You know, you would read the word vigilance, and then it wouldn't describe that to you, right? Because the keyword is just there to kind of like make rules text not be on the card, and make more space for it. But Yu-Gi-Oh's like, no, keywords, we don't use that here. We don't do that here. We are going to write every single rule of every single card in the card text, and we're going to make it fit. So if you can't read, or you don't have lenses on, we'll screw you. I guess you can't play the game.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there's that for sure. It's really frustrating about the game. But if you can go past that, if you get used to reading like an entire fucking novel worth of text sometimes to kind of understand what's going on the board state, then you can get past that for sure.
Okay.
You can actually enjoy the game, but at least early on, you don't need to do any of that to enjoy the game.
Yeah.
We're gonna be playing Master Duel, but more towards the end of the stream than right now. I think we can, you know, just keep ranting for the next 35 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And talking about nerd culture, I also want to talk about D&D.
Okay.
Did you play D&D?
I have played D&D. I have played quite a bit of D&D. But the main thing is I have an interesting history with D&D in the essence of I have never had a campaign of D&D that I've been in that has lasted. The longest one lasted until level 3.
Wow.
Yeah. And the shortest one, our campaign fell apart because of some interesting social problems, literally 2 sessions in.
Oh, but that sucks, man.
Yeah, I played a bard, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I definitely feel like I think one of my challenges with D&D in general is I play I play much more for the RP side of things than the gaming side of things. And one of the problems that I experienced is I find combat in D&D, in most D&D systems, not all D&D systems, but in most D&D systems, I find combat to be unbearably boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I don't think you should play D&D for the combat. You should definitely just play for the RP, because that's the strong suit of the game.
The challenge I had was that the GMs that I had were having us do a lot of combat, and then I would get bored and zone out, and then the people would get mad at me for being bored and zoning out, when I'm like, literally what we're doing is we're rolling dice and saying, I hit so-and-so with my axe, and it's not interesting. I want to make it interesting. And then I would do things like, instead of fighting an enemy, I would try to talk to them.
Okay.
And then...
So God forbid.
Yeah, God forbid I roleplay and I convince kobolds that I'm a dragon god and become their literal god and skip an entire session's worth of content because most of the session's content was combat. And I was like, so I roleplayed, I convinced them, and now, like, we planned on like 4 hours of D&D, but we're done in 30 minutes because I had a conversation instead of blindly hitting things.
No. That sounds like your DM was just not not in it for like the actual role play, because
and
I don't know.
So
if you want to do combat, you shouldn't do D&D. You should go play some other like similar game, some other tabletop game that does combat way better than D&D.
Yeah,
I think. Go ahead.
Freaking Warhammer. You should play Warhammer.
Yeah.
If you're interested in D&D for the combat, you should play Warhammer. If you're interested, or like something like Pathfinder seems to be a lot more combat focused, and that's why. And like the other thing is like Pathfinder is way less open because like it has much more strict rules around like social interactions, and so like, and I've played I think one thing of Pathfinder, and I found it a lot less interesting because like I felt more constrained into I can't just go talk to an NPC.
Yeah,
and I can't just like
mistake that people do. Yeah, the biggest mistake that people do when it comes to D&D, and it's just that they think that they're in there to just kill monsters all the time, and you have to understand that that's the wrong approach, because D&D was never meant to just go have combat all the time. It's a game that takes place in what D&D likes to call. I'm sorry.
Bless you.
In like what D&D players like to call the theater of the mind.
Yeah.
The second thing that you have to keep in mind too, if you're new to D&D, it's that rules and the player's handbook and all this stuff, all these books, they are mere suggestions. Everybody at the table is there to play make believe and have fun with it. That's the number one rule. It's you're there to have fun first. Yeah. Follow the rules second. So the DMs sometimes get too, because I try to be a DM. I've DM a couple one shots. On this kind of tough, because there's so much you have to kind of keep track of, and if you're not prepared, something weird might happen. And then when that shit happens, inevitably when your player does something stupid that you weren't expecting, because there's no way that you can expect everything, you have to do one of the hardest things that people could be asked to do, which is improvise on the spot. Yeah. No, I during high school in my back in my hometown, high school is done a little bit different, where once you hit like sophomore year in high school, you're split into 4 different like quote unquote majors, right? There's the math major, there's the science major, there's the medicine major, and then there's the arts major. I went the arts major because I was lazy and I didn't want to do any fucking difficult thing. Not because I wasn't good at math, it's just that I'm looking at the curriculum and it's like, this is a fucking joke. I don't want to do calculus right now. Fuck off. Right. But I'm glad that I took that, because it gave me a lot of skills, because there's in the arts curriculum, there's a lot of acting, there's a lot of public speaking, there's a lot of drawing, there's a lot of graphic design, stuff like that. And that's actually a lot of shit that I've used as an adult, a lot more than what I would have learned on the other curriculums. And I'm very glad that I did. Which takes me back to what we're talking about D&D. Is like, for me, improvising is not that difficult, because I've literally had classes dedicated to improvising on the spot, making something up, being a little wacky, being yourself, or what is known as exercising your improvisation muscle, your imagination muscle. Yeah, that's not we call it a muscle because the only way that you can get better at it, the only way you get stronger, is through practice, is through exercise.
For sure, yeah.
So when I became a DM, I almost fell into that trap of, I need to make sure combat's right. I need to make sure the rules are being followed. And I kind of did, and I started noticing that my players were actually getting annoyed at that. Yeah. And that's when I realized, maybe I shouldn't keep this player unconscious all the time, because he's not having fun anymore. And that's when all right, I like, okay, roll some dice. Let's see. At the start of each of your turns, roll a dice, and if you roll more than 10, you wake up. And then I had to do that, even though there was no rule saying that condition could be removed by such a thing. I was like, at least my player would feel like he has some agency, Yeah. The player would have some decision to do, or some again agency to kind of get his character up and start playing again.
Yeah,
so
see,
that's the
I
thing.
Actually, I have two anecdotes. And I think, first of all, that's why I usually, when I play any D&D campaign, I usually play a bard. And the reason why I played a bard is because I always knew what was interesting to me was subverting the rules. It was like working around them, avoiding them. Like, if I can get through combat without actually ever hitting anything, I will. That's my end goal. And so it's like, that was interesting to me, is to avoid what the DM wanted me to do, as well as think laterally about how to solve problems. And also, of course, I liked having a high charisma stat, because it's always fun to just roll like a 20, and then the DM's like, yeah, fine, you can convince whatever person this is literally anything. Like, whatever you wanted, you can convince. In fact, I ended up rolling so well, and I ended up having to push my improvisational muscle with one DM, with the DM where our campaign lasted like 6 months, because I was rolling so well on my deception and charisma checks and stuff like that, he actually forced me to have to explain. So I had to actually convince him in a way. Like, if I was trying to lie, I would have to make up a lie in character that would have convinced the DM that I was telling the truth. And I did so quite regularly, and he was really annoyed with that. That I was as good at that as I was, and ended up avoiding a lot of combat and a lot of stuff. And it's like, I cut like 3 or 4 sessions short by an hour or more, just by convincing somebody of something, or talking to a character and talking them out of fighting us, and stuff like that. That was really frustrating. And then my other anecdote is I played a campaign where I played, it was a different system. It wasn't 5e, and I was playing a different race. I was playing a clockwork machine. And so I was like a reanimated spirit by a clockwork sorcerer, right? That was like bringing spirits back to put them in inanimate objects to do things. And so I was actually one of those inanimate objects that had become animated by a spirit, by a sorcerer. And whenever I rolled a nat 1 in game, anytime on any check, so anytime I rolled a d20 and rolled a nat 1, I would turn back into an inanimate object, and I had to roll dice to get back into being animated.
That sounds horrible.
It was, but it was so funny, and it made such an interesting impact on the game. The other thing is the other side of this is like 3 times per day, I was able to take 2 full turns just for free. Like, I didn't have to roll dice or anything. I just, whenever I wanted to, I could say, I'm going to overclock, and I could take 2 full turns. Of course, part of this was the whole campaign was designed in a way that was supposed to be, I don't want to say like anti-player, but unbalanced against us, because it was a horror themed session. So the whole campaign was supposed to be our characters confronting horrifying things that we were unable to beat, and having to think laterally about how to go about it and win without just fighting. Because if we just fought, we were never going to win. It was never going to work that way. And so we really had to think differently, and really had to push ourselves. And I'm really sad that it ended. It ended because the DM got too busy, and her life was too chaotic, and she just couldn't. She didn't have the time to be able to consistently.
I need to take you through my one shot then one of these days, because that's exactly what my D&D one shot is like. I'll see what we can do. We'll have to ask our friends, see if anybody else wants to try D&D for the first time, because it was a one-shot campaign that I wrote down, and I ended up being a little too long because I couldn't finish it in one day. It's like 2 sessions long almost. So we should do that. See if maybe, I don't know if any of the other guys in in the Discord we met will want to play with.
Maybe. I know a couple people who might want to join too. So I can message them too.
I haven't DM'd anything in a long time, and I would like to revisit that one shot, make some changes, and see what we can do.
That would be fun.
We'll see. I'll probably work on it this weekend and let you know. See what we can do. Moving on to the next subject.
Yes.
What is the next subject?
I don't know.
Transitions are difficult.
Transitions are difficult. Words are hard.
English tough. Yes.
Yes. English challenging. The fact that
I'm
there and there are.
I'm like so hungry. I woke up. I want to say 40 minutes before we started streaming.
Oh dear.
Because my schedule is such a mess, man.
Yeah.
I got super into Dota again. One of my old friends asked me if I wanted to play Dota, and of course I fucking played Dota. And the next thing I know, it's 7 a.m. in the morning, and I'm still in the middle of a match, queuing with this guy.
Jesus.
And then we started catching up on things, and then it's all of a sudden it's literally 11 a.m. and I haven't slept, and I'm like,
oh no. I've had days like that before, for sure.
Yeah, so my sleep schedule is a total mess. I had to set up an alarm because I was afraid I would fall asleep and then not wake up on time for this. So it was difficult that way. Okay. Wait a second.
That is, I know how that is. I know how that is. Staying up all night playing. I've done many of a Warframe grind where I look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, it's 8 a.m. now. The fuck did I do with my life?
Yeah. One of our friends is going through that right now in the gods.
Oh yeah. Is it Kate or who?
No, it's not Kate. Kate's done with Warframe. She hasn't logged in like a long time. It's Lona.
Oh, okay. That
Lona,
makes sense.
You should ask him next time how much Warframe he's been playing lately. He'll give you that gamer brag of it being basically more than a full-time job for him.
Yeah, I went through a season of life where I was like that.
The other day when playing Warframe, I actually ended up getting very upset at the game.
Oh no, what happened?
It was like a week into coming back into Warframe since I hadn't been playing since 2019, right? So I didn't play since 2019. The new quest came out. There's all these weird new mechanics coming on. And then I was trying to figure out Kuba liches, right?
Yeah.
And I went to the wiki, as any seasoned Warframe player does. Goes to the wiki, tries to figure out what the fuck is going on. And I look at the article explaining Kuba lich mechanics. And it's effectively a fucking a scientific research paper on how this stupid bullshit works. And I'm still upset at it. And I can feel my blood pressure going up just thinking about it. Because when did it become okay for this to happen? I go inside the game and I go look at the Kuba lich tutorial that the game gives me. Not even gives me, that the game has for me to look up, because when you first meet a Kuba lich, nothing is explained to you. Absolutely nothing is explained to you.
That is true.
I go to the codex, I go Kuba liches, I go to fucking Kuba lich won't shut the fuck up, and I open the how-to menu, and it's like 7 sentences that tell you absolutely fucking nothing.
Yeah,
it tells you nothing. Yeah. Dude. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is an echo? What the hell is a murmur? What the hell is this anger bar? Like, I don't get any of this, and the game's not explaining it to me.
Yeah,
and that's, I go to the wiki and I see this literal fucking mountain of text in front of me, and I just lose it. And I'm like, how can people look at that and be like, yeah, this is okay, yeah, this is acceptable, yeah, I'm having fun? No, No, you're not. You're an idiot. Yeah. You have been coped into thinking that this is okay. That it's okay for a game to present this mechanic in front of you and not explain a single fucking thing.
Yeah. I will agree.
The best tutorial.
DE has gotten way worse about that. For sure.
Yeah. And we can talk about that in a moment, but hold on. In game design, the best tutorial is the tutorial that's not there at all. The best tutorial is the tutorial that teaches you how to play the game without explicitly telling you how to play the game. It's the one that shows instead of tell. You know?
Yep. Half-Life, like Portal, fucking...
Yep. Oh, Valve games in general, because Valve is usually really good at that.
Yeah.
At least their original IPs, not the other stuff that they acquired later. Those are the best tutorials. But in Warframe, it's like you have to fucking spend more time on the wiki than in the actual game. Yeah. If you want to get into it. It's
for sure
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Such a massive waste of time, and in my opinion, a straight up disrespect of players' times in general. Because people think that this stuff is okay. That it's okay for you to try to play the game, realize you can't play the game because you don't understand anything, and having to spend 2 hours in a website filled with ads, trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable. And that's just one mechanic. Then there's Railjack, right? Then there's Necromix. Then there's the new factions. Then there's all this other bullshit that's going on. And I literally, like the first week, I literally had to spend more time on the wiki trying to catch up with everything than to like actually play the game. And I'm like, how are new players supposed to understand this? You know?
Yeah.
This game is not that complex. Fucking Warframe is not League of Legends and it's not Dota. It's not this super intricate, complex, nuanced game. No, it's get in the fucking robot and go fucking kill the things. Like that's it. How do we get away from that? How do we leave that? How did it become? You want this shiny new thing? Well, go read a fucking article for 2 hours and then come back, and then you can start farming for 10 hours, wasting your life. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's no longer, hey, you complete this mission? Oh, cool. Here's a key. Use this key to go get more shit. And then use that shit to get more shit. And then have fun while getting shit.
Yeah, it's interesting.
No longer like that. It's no longer like that.
I have seen, over the years that I've played Warframe, I have seen it become more and more like a Skinner box.
What's a Skinner box? Explain the non-American what a Skinner box is.
Okay. So a Skinner box was a scientific experiment that was done in the 60s, so you can already tell it's going to be fucked up, right? So basically what they discovered is addiction is not caused by a exclusively positive loop. It's really complicated, but more or less, a Skinner box was they made a box and they put a rat in it. And the box had a button in it. And sometimes, particularly the first time, when the rat pressed the button, it would get a piece of food. Now, these rats were already trained to press buttons to get food, right? Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes this button would give it food, sometimes it wouldn't, and on a random basis, sometimes it would electrocute the rat. So the control was a rat in a box that was just regularly given food when it pressed a button. The non-control, the experiment was determining how addiction is formed. And what they discovered is that the only thing more addicting than press button, get food is actually not just press button, sometimes get food, press button, sometimes don't. Because what happens is then they just press it until they get food, right? And then they eat the food and then they're done. When you make that button sometimes electrocute the rat, it will press the button over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That sounds retarded.
So a Skinner box is a mechanic, and you can see this in a lot of games, where it rewards you for doing the right thing, and then it punishes you in some way and sets you back. Right? And then rewards you again. And that disparate nature between negative and positive, rather than just neutral and positive, or just positive, actually is what creates a lot of addiction and a lot of addictive behaviors. Is when you are misplacing negativity and positivity and comparing them in the same scenario very rapidly together, it creates that. And I think Warframe is very much that way, in the essence of part of what brings you back is you run into something and you're like, motherfucker, and it makes you mad, and then you complete it and you get that burst of endorphins. And so
I think I'm gonna have to disagree a little there with you, because I don't think it's kind of like that in a sense. I mean, I get it with like gacha. It can be like that, and it's actually exactly like that.
Yes.
But I don't know about
boxes.
Warframe. I think, well, Warframe doesn't necessarily have a loot box in the same way that a gacha.
No, I was just mentioning loot boxes as another Skinner box mechanic. Warframe doesn't have loot boxes, but Warframe definitely has a lot of Skinner boxes where. Oh, for example, a great example of a Skinner box would be farming Haro. Is a great Skinner box.
Which Haro? Haro Prime or Haro?
Normal Haro. Because you have to do all those missions where you have like a 2% drop rate. Mm-hmm. But then
what's the shock then? Would it not getting it be a neutral outcome?
No.
What would it be then?
A neutral outcome is not getting it. A neutral outcome, actually, ironically, you're right. So a neutral outcome would be not getting it. They do something worse. They give you something that you don't want. Yeah. So you open up the chest and you get something that you don't want, not the thing that you want, and it makes you want the thing that you want more, and you makes you want to do it again and again and again and again and again and again to get it. Right?
Okay.
So it's the same thing. So like, another great one just is farming Warframes in general now when fighting the bosses, even though it's a lot easier and it's less of a problematic Skinner box, but it's still a Skinner box. Because you'll fight a boss, you'll get the systems, you'll get the Neuro optics, and then you'll have to fight it a dozen times, getting the Neuro optics and the systems over and over again until you finally get the fucking chassis, right? And so that's the same thing where it's like you need these three components and the game gives you two of them, and then you have to farm to get the third one. Very similar with Haro, where it's like, I'm trying to remember, isn't it the Haro chassis or whatever that just drops? Like you get a shit ton of them.
All over the place.
Yeah. And then you have to farm so hard to get the other two. So it's very similar in that way too. And then as you're farming them, you're getting other rewards, but they're not what you want. And they're useless things that you don't need. And so it's very Skinner boxy in that way. And I think that Kuvalich is also, ironically enough, pretty similar of like...
Oh yeah, no, 100%, yes. I agree. That's a Skinner box for sure. Okay, I'm starting to understand what you mean there.
Yeah, and so like it gives you a negative, ironically enough, because you're right, it's neutral to get nothing. So if it just didn't give you what you wanted, you'd be like, all right, whatever, I'll come back tomorrow. But because it gives you something but not what you want, it feels like there's hope, right? And that's the problem. Is like that's what creates that addictive behavior, is the hope of, oh, next time I'll get it. Look, I get this valuable reward. Next time I'll get what I want. It's the same exact thing with the opening of the things. And Warframe is full of Skinner boxes. Like opening the relics is another Skinner box.
Yeah. Okay.
But
see, I wouldn't see it.
Most games are that way.
But that's because I'm a more experienced player. Like if I'm doing relics, I understand that if I don't get what I want, I can still make use of it in another way. But that could be, a Skinner box within a Skinner box at that point.
Yeah.
Because now you're being baited into doing other things that you don't necessarily want to do. Like, okay, you didn't get the repeat, but now you can use these things for ducats. Oh, what the hell are ducats? Well, you visit the boy trader. Oh, look, you need more ducats. Oh, maybe better go do the thing that you were doing again now.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying. Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah, but, which is ironic because I feel like that's why I liked Railjacks, ironically enough, because Railjacks don't really have a Skinner box mechanic in them.
But to a certain degree, we kind of need that Skinner box because that is
for sure
the appeal of the game.
For sure, it's the appeal of all games. Mm-hmm. Every game is a Skinner box. It just depends on how much it impacts you. And I think Warframe does a really good job of not letting their Skinner boxes really impact their like platinum. Doesn't really impact platinum. Doesn't really impact actually giving them money. It only impacts giving them time. And so, generally
be careful
speaking,
with the word money because platinum is not money. Platinum is money already given to PvE.
Yeah. Well, I was saying like there isn't a Skinner box that allows you to get platinum aside from selling prime components, which I guess you can technically, but it's like there isn't really a Skinner box mechanic that involves you directly giving your money away for, say, buying loot boxes from Blizzard.
Okay.
Which is a direct exchange of cash from my hand, you give me Skinner box. Which is what got a lot of games in trouble. They actually, I think in Europe, it is Blizzard had to remove loot boxes at some point.
They did. They had to remove them.
Because they illegalized that in Europe of basically the direct creation of a correlation between a Skinner box in a game and money transactions.
Yeah. It was more about the youth being affected by gambling.
Exactly. Exactly. Anyway, so to get away from that and back to Warframe, I definitely think Warframe has been bad about creating mechanics that are too complicated to understand easily and too complicated to really interact with well for maybe about 3 or 4 years. And I think it's been getting worse and worse.
It's only going to get worse and worse at this point because now there's a standard that's been set. It's like, okay, DE got away with liches, you know?
Yeah.
Now there's the Sisters of Parvov, quote unquote. Now, Sisters of Parvos are like Kuba liches, but quote unquote easier. But it's bullshit. It's the same thing, just a little shorter. And because we have now we have two, basically. Now we have two types of Kuba lich systems. And that doesn't make the other one any better. It really doesn't.
It doesn't.
And I talked to my friend who played Warframe during the time that I was away. He told me, it actually used to be worse. And I'm like, what? Yeah, you didn't know what you were going to get until you killed the hatchling. And I'm like, are you serious? So what he would do to get the weapon that he wanted, he would have to kill a hatchling, go through the whole process of killing the Kuba lich that would give him a weapon that he wouldn't want, and then RNG again to see what it is. Now it's different. Now the hatchling, when it's on the floor, it tells you what it will generate before you commit to it. But
thank God.
Holy crap, man. I don't even understand. And he told me, that's what we had to do, and it was terrible. And it's like RNG on top of RNG, because on top of that, Kuba weapons have this like fucking percentage that is extremely important to it. It goes anywhere between 15 to 60% extra damage. Right. And that's another like quote unquote RNG layer. And then there's the weapons that damage has a chance of being a certain type, and that's another fucking thing. And oh my god, man, it's actually disgusting. Like,
right?
I hate Kuba liches so much. Like when I just refuse to do them. And now that I've caught up with everything, I've did the new war. I have my Railjack.
Nice.
I'm sitting back. I have my Necromech, and the Necromech's pretty cool. I like the Necromech, but other than that one exception. And I'm looking at everything that I got, and I'm sitting here, and I'm like, what was this for? What was all this for? You know, what do I have the railjack for now? There's nothing to do with the fucking railjack once you get it. Once you finish the quests that require the railjack, it's it. It's over. You don't have to touch railjack anywhere ever again.
Yeah.
And it's just such a forced system. It's a system just forced down your fucking throat. We didn't need railjacks. We didn't.
Yeah.
We already had Arcwing for that purpose. And the Arcwing is its own fucking rabbit hole of bullshit, but at least, you know, the problem that we have is just that they take a system, they fail at it, they abandon it, and then they come up with a better version instead of fixing the old system.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say.
And then we have both.
It's like they created the railjacks, and I feel like this was almost what happened. And I feel like I've seen this in DE a couple of times. It's like they create a mechanic, and then they see how the community reacts without creating content for it first. And I can kind of understand that, because it is, I mean, like one of the good game design things that I feel like Warframe actually did really well with their movement is, and this comes from I'm trying to remember his name, the creator of like the Mario 3D World games, not 3D World, but 3D Mario games.
I know.
He said that when they were developing them, starting with the N64, he said that when they were developing them, and they still do this today, is they take all their movement mechanics, all their Mario mechanics, everything that they're going to do with just Mario the character, they put them in a white blank box with no content, nothing interesting in there, no enemies to fight, and they just have him run around and just put the controller in somebody's hands and say, how do you like this? And if they go, yeah, it's pretty good, then they know that they're ready, because the main thing is people have to like the mechanic first. But the part of the problem is, like, with the railjack, there's so many mechanics that there's no way you're going to get a good response by just putting the railjack in the game, giving it this tiny sliver of content, and then being like, well, we'll see if people like it or not. It's like, no, you have to give us a purpose of having the railjack other than just having one for us to get a feel for whether or not it's good.
It's a matter of priority.
Yeah.
It's a matter of priority from a game design point of view. Yeah. Because for to be devil's advocate here a little bit, Nintendo, their philosophy is gameplay first.
Yeah.
That's like their motto is gameplay first. Is it fun to do the thing? Yeah. If it's not fun to do the thing, we don't do it. Yeah. That's what you subscribe when you play Nintendo games, because that's what they care about the most. But DE is not like that. That's not what they care about the most.
No.
They care about something else. I don't know exactly what it is, because honestly I haven't been watching dev streams or some shit like that. I haven't caught up with their dev streams in a long time. But they do not care about gameplay first. But that's what it used to be, though.
Yeah.
That's why we have movement. That's why we have Melee 3.0. That's why we have a third version of Melee. That's why we have a third version of movement. It's because when they were designing the game, they knew they had something really, 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 really good.
Yeah.
In the movement system and in the combat system, that gameplay loop really hasn't changed ever since the start. Yeah. Which is pick your robot, go into the mission, murder things, get the reward, get the fuck out. Repeat.
Jump around while murdering things specifically.
Yeah, jump around, move around, be agile, be a ninja, be stealthy, be whatever the hell would you want to do. And it's been like that, but it's definitely changed. And
for sure,
it's just that. Sorry.
No, you're good.
To me, all these design choices, all these leech railjacks, all these crazy mechanics that they always fucking come up with. To me, they sound. It feels like desperation to stay relevant when it's not required. You know, nobody can play a game for like 10 years straight and not get bored. Okay, there might be some people that do. Obviously, there's some exceptions, but 99.9% of the people will eventually get bored of a game no matter how fun it is. They'll try something different.
For sure.
But the thing is, because profit for them as a free-to-play game is so intrinsically tied to being relevant that they have this it feels to me, I'm making assumptions here, it feels to me like they're just desperate to stay relevant within the gaming universe. And it's the same thing with Path of Exile. And Path of Exile is even worse at this, but Warframe is not much better. And I'll get to Path of Exile in a moment. It's just they cannot let their game lose popularity. And obviously, as a company, that's what they want. The more popular the game is, the more revenue they generate. You know, you can't really blame the company like that. But Nintendo's games, they're not like that because they're not free to play. You get the package. You pay upfront what you're gonna pay for, and then you get what you paid for. Warframe is not like that. It's like here's everything. You can have it all. Yeah. You choose when you give us money.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I also think their struggle to stay relevant is impacted directly by, and definitely their new mechanics are impacted by this mentality of we have to create something new and new and new and new and new, and we can't just kind of stick with what we got, what we did, with the first time, tried and true, which is like, you know, movement and melee and positive loops of impact and stuff like that. It's just like it creates a very fun gameplay to begin with, and then you reach a certain point where there's just too much.
The catharsis was what you were thinking. You know, the catharsis of playing the game is go ahead.
Yeah.
So it's just, I wish that when they introduce something new to the game, that they would prioritize, you know, it being fun first.
Yeah.
Like, if I look back at Cuba Liches, where's the fun in a Cuba Lich?
Yeah.
Really. It's a boss that you have to fight like 7 different times to kill. And to kill him, you have to farm the Cuba Lich missions.
Right.
And you have to either go get your murmurs or go get the relics to kill the Cuba Lich. And then you go and kill the Cuba Lich. And like, where's the fun in this? You know? I would have much, much, much more preferred a new quest over a new... Or a new boss over this Cuba Lich thing. Mm-hmm. You know, the Warframe, it feels like it's no longer about let's come up with cool, interesting Warframes and weapons for our players to play in the combat loop that we know that works. It's no longer about that. It's about, okay, let's come up with a new system that's going to have a new set of mods that everybody's going to want to try to farm. And that's going to keep them. There it is. It's going to keep them occupied for the next 6 months, so they can keep fucking playing and giving us money. That's what it is. It's like they're not making mechanics for fun, to make us have fun. They're making mechanics to keep us occupied.
Yeah, they're making mechanics to keep us coming back.
Yeah, that's where I think the biggest disrespect for me comes from. It's the fact that they're no longer interested in making us have fun with like every single thing. Obviously, there are things that they do work on that are fun, like the new world quest. It was brilliant, loved it, great, amazing, all the praises that required. But that shit took them so many years to come up, you know.
Right.
In the meantime, they were working on other stuff too. They were working on other quests. Some of the other quests were really fun, but like the quests are one and done, right? Yeah, they're one and done. Why couldn't they not come up with like a boss that we can farm that's actually fun to fight?
Yeah.
There hasn't been a fun boss to fight in a long time. The last time I had fun fighting bosses was in the Plains of Eidolon. When I was fighting there was a new system, but guess what? That came alongside the operator and the operator system. The operators were fucking so cool.
Yeah,
I really liked it. They really nailed it with operators. But we're trying to get to this.
Yeah, well, it added fewer mechanics. I would say the bosses in on the Venus or Valis. That's what it is. In Orb Valis are pretty fun too. Trash. The bosses in Orb Valis that they introduced after Orb Valis was made, those are also pretty fun. Mm-hmm. And I think that
I don't like those bosses personally.
Okay. I really liked the. I understand that a lot of people are like, I already have like Archwings. Why would I want the snowboard? I really enjoyed the snowboard mechanics. The boarding mechanics are really fun.
Yeah.
So I feel like Orb Valis was the last update that I really had fun with, for sure.
But that's the thing. Like they did the whole skateboarding thing. That was really, really fucking cool. And then it took him how many fucking years to come up with a Warframe that like fucking
like 2 years to come up with a Warframe that focused on it.
They had to wait 2 years to realize, oh shit, we did a good. Let's fucking do more of that. It's like that's just how disconnected they are from the fun that the players actually have with the game anymore. Yeah, because and then
I get to that the infested planet or whatever that happened in the update after Orb Valis. I can't remember what it's called, and start trying to farm like Necrolisk for Necromech. And I'm like, farming Necromech is so unbearably a pain in the ass.
Absolutely.
It's horrible. And you have to have people with you. Like, you cannot farm one alone, ever. And I understand that part of it is Warframe is like a community game.
New players cannot, but a veteran player could totally do it, but go on.
I couldn't. Well, yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do it, and maybe I was just too far behind at that point.
Probably, yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was like, and maybe I could farm like a crappy one. Maybe that's what I should have done. Is I shouldn't have gone for like a powerful Necromech or whatever, powerful components.
But no, there's only 2 Necromechs. It's not like the apps where there's like 20 of them. No, there's 2 Necromechs. The good one and the bad one. And the good one's the first one you can farm. So.
Oh, okay.
So once you farm the good Necromech, then you can farm the bad Necromech.
Maybe they made it easier, or maybe they made it harder. I don't know. All I know is like the quests to do the Necromech shit were so hard.
Yeah, they're like bounties. No, what happens is you need to bring one of 2 things. You either have to have like an overpowered weapon that can like destroy everything really quickly. Yeah. Or you need to bring Nova. Nova, because Molecular Prime not only sees everything, and the thing about Deimos is that the infested surround you very quickly and they can overwhelm you. But if you have Nova, that doesn't happen.
It's not a problem,
but it really is not a problem. So next time you want to do that, try using Nova. It's actually really fun.
Okay. Easy. I might. I don't even know if I have a Nova Prime or even a Nova Warframe anymore. I might need to check. But I don't know. I don't know when I'll have the time to get back into Warframe.
The Nova's ultimate is a slow that affects the entire the entire area surrounding you. Yeah, that also affects the Necromechs. So it slows down the Necromechs, which makes it easier to destroy their arms and then get behind them and shoot them in the back. Yeah, that's how you do it. But I don't know.
Which once again is another problem I have with the farming, though, is like, should I have to?
You have to have one specific
acquire and use one specific Warframe to be able to successfully complete a quest.
Yeah, that's me who like has already gone through all this bullshit. But that's what I wanted to get to earlier. It's like, how is a new player supposed to fucking deal with all this shit? Yeah, without like just getting straight up carried, like. Yeah. They can't, because they're too busy learning 20 million fucking thousand different mechanics already to worry about how to farm a Necromech. Like, it's so disgusting. This Warframe game has become so goddamn unapproachable. It used to be so easy. It used to be so fucking easy. You got into the game, you chose one of 3 Warframes, and then you go into the mission, you do the mission, and you have fun. But it's no longer it's no longer about that. Because you get the mech, you get your Warframe, and then you start going through planets, and then here, learn this. Okay, cool. Now learn this. Okay, cool. Now, okay, listen. As a new player, imagine you're a new player. You've never heard of Warframe in your fucking goddamn life. You go up to you do a tutorial, and then you go up to your Warframe and you click upgrade, and you see the mod menu.
Yeah.
Stop. Right there. Yeah. Already, the game is asking the player so much.
Yeah.
At that point, that's the moment where the player stops having fun and starts going to the wiki. Yeah. And that it's all the moment one, like day one, it's already like that. But guess what? He doesn't stop there.
Right.
Because now you have to do that for weapons.
Yep.
Now, weapon mods work different than Warframe mods. Oh, but they look the same. No, they're different. There's different mechanics affecting them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go
and did you know, like, and here's the other thing, and this is coming from a veteran player too. I didn't even know until maybe a year into playing the game that the order of mods on your weapon and Warframe fucking matters.
Yes, they do. No, on weapons do, but not on Warframes, on weapons.
Yeah, I guess not on Warframe really, but yeah, on weapons, the order of mods matters. And I thought that was like when I first found that out, I was like, "Fucking what?"
Yep, this elemental damage system.
The elemental damage system is too complicated too, and needs, or at least it needs to explain that it's like
that. It's like that, yeah. But it doesn't.
That it's like
Guess
that.
what?
But it doesn't.
All you get is a little pop-up in the loading screen telling you, consider using corrosive damage against armored enemies. It does more damage against armor. Wow! It doesn't even tell you what corrosive damage is. It doesn't tell you how to get set corrosive damage. It doesn't tell you what mods you need to get set corrosive damage. It doesn't tell you what menu you need to access to go get set corrosive damage. It doesn't tell you anything. And that's the problem. It's... Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
The biggest problem with Warframe is, like we're talking about, I think creating a reasonable guide to playing Warframe might be impossible. I think that's why it's never done.
And here I was listening to a podcast earlier yesterday, just about this. And it was funny because this came up just now, so let me tell you about it. Redundancy. Anyways, I was listening to Day 9.
Right.
Day 9 is this internet personality who I fucking adore. He's like he's great. Everybody should check out Day 9 at some point or another in their life. But he was playing Master Duel. He was playing Master Duel. He's just like you. Never in his life had he ever played Yu-Gi-Oh, and he was being a goof, playing the game, trying to figure it out, comparing it to Magic, and then he went and read some card text and read some mechanics, and then the game did something that he didn't quite understand, and he was like, "This is what the fuck just happened?" And eventually he starts talking about how League of Legends doesn't have a good tutorial either, and he explains that in League of Legends they realize that the game is too complicated for a set tutorial. That they realized that if they were to make a tutorial, it was going to be extremely long and extremely convoluted. And the decision that they came up with, that ended up obviously working out for them, is that they realize that they have to have this shitty tutorial but this tutorial is also very short, because that way at least the player doesn't invest a long time trying to figure it all out. You know, instead what they would do is keep the tutorial short and shit, so that the players would rely on their friends, because a friend explaining the game is a lot more effective than a tutorial would be. You know, there's inherent problems in it of itself, but that's just the nature of a MOBA game. That's just it. A MOBA is its own unique fucking snowflake of a video game compared to other games like Mario or Mario Party or even Warframe to a degree, because it was a game that kind of came out accidentally. It was a mod. MOBAs were mods on the Warcraft 3, and then they became extremely popular. But what I'm trying to get to is, he was basically saying sometimes having no tutorial is better than having a tutorial when the game is complicated enough. But the problem that I have is that I get it with MOBAs, but I don't get it with Warframe. Why did Warframe have to go that way? Why did Warframe have to become so fucking complicated that it got to the point where a tutorial was an unfeasible solution? That's the problem. It's like, it didn't start that way. League of Legends, Dota, it started that way because just of the chaotic nature of it, the birth of that game. But Warframe didn't. Warframe started as a good fucking game that explained to you how to play the game by playing the fucking game. It's like, hey, you can't walk through this. You have to jump over it. Press spacebar to jump, and then you press spacebar, and your character fucking jumps through it, and you get it. It connects. Right, bam. That's it. That's the end of that. Next time, you see now this is too high to jump. You see that it's too high to jump. What if I hit spacebar twice, because the player might even try to just jump it and fail. Yeah. But they accidentally hit spacebar twice. Oh, there's a double jump. Oh, that lets me jump even higher. Okay, I get it. And then there's little things like that. Warframe started like that. But now it's just not about that stuff anymore. It's not about having fun with the movement system. It's not about having fun with your weapon. It's not about having fun getting a new weapon and trying it out for the first time. It's no longer about that. It's because the game's too old for it, and they just take design effort somewhere else. The game is now all about these over convoluted systems that have no business being complicated or convoluted to begin with, and making the player waste as much of their fucking time as they can in this game, so that they get frustrated enough so that they fucking buy platinum. To skip. Like, how fucked up is that, man? Play our game, so you don't fucking play our game.
It's really annoying. It's funny to me because one of the things that I remember is when I was playing Warframe heavily, and I think that was back when in the time where we can both agree it was a fun game, and then it started getting super convoluted, and I just I don't have the time for this, so I stopped playing.
That's why I stopped in 2019. Cuba Liches came out and I'm like, nope, I'm out. Anyways, go on.
I played Destiny 2.
Okay.
Because Destiny 2 is very similar in everything in Destiny 2. All of the mechanics can be described in pretty much a single sentence unless you're doing a raid. Unless you're doing a raid, and the raids are intentionally complex and convoluted. And the whole point of that is kind of similar, where it's like your friends are supposed to teach you how to do them. Exactly. Your friends are supposed to teach you how to do them, all this stuff. But once again, we're going back into, it's not a free to play game. Blizzard already got your money, Blizzard already got your money when you paid for the game. And so it is interesting. I do like Destiny 2, though. It's still pretty fun. I think it has I think it did what Warframe did with like movement mechanics, Destiny 2 did with weapons, where just so satisfying. But
the weapons are so fun.
Then they came out with the new stasis stuff in Destiny 2. I don't know if you played that long, but
no, I didn't play that long.
They threw PvP balancing in the garbage when they came out with stasis stuff.
But PvP is only a rabbit hole of bullshit that I think we're better off not talking about right now. So let's keep going.
That's when I stopped playing too. Well, it also threw a lot of mechanics in the garbage, because it's like they added a stun to a game that had never had a stun before.
Okay.
A game that was designed to not have stuns, they just added stuns to it. So it'd be like if, they suddenly gave Zed in League of Legends is stun. It just didn't make sense. And it was really foreign, and it broke everything for a really long time. And they took a long time for them to like get the mechanic under control to the point where it's like you couldn't just one-shot bosses with stuff and stuff like that. Whereas like it really made the game not fun to play because you just got into a lobby with somebody and they could just win. And there was no challenge anymore. And there was no like the bosses were too easy to defeat and stuff like that. So I think they've gotten better about it now. But yeah, it was really interesting. I feel like I saw some similar things in Warframe, although Warframe's a little bit less so, and you kind of do have to be carried. But I switched over because of that, and then I came back to Warframe, and there was just so much stuff that I just like. I feel like the reason that I liked Warframe and the reason that I liked Railjacks is because I came back and I was just like, here's a thing where I don't have to think about all of this garbage. Like Railjacks are just easy. You know, and especially after you get an automated crew where you just have AI fighting for you, where you don't even really have to think about anything, and you just kind of fly around in a giant unbreakable ship and shoot shit down. And it's like there was another power fantasy, just like the original game, where it was like I feel like they actually did an ironically good job with Railjacks of getting back to just. Railjacks are just a power fantasy. But they were unnecessary, and then there was no purpose to them.
There was no purpose. It was fun, but there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The problem that I have with Railjacks is it's just that they're useless afterwards, but also a personal one, and that is, I fucking love like dogfighting games in general. Yeah, I love Ace Combat. Ace Combat was my first dogfighting game. Right. I fucking love in terms of space dogfighting, Elite Dangerous. It's at least before the whole engineering thing came out. I thought it was really fucking cool. I love that game, and the more competitive, if you could even call PlanetSide competitive, dogfighting there, I really got into that. So for me, Railjack, I see the appeal they're going for. It's just that for me, if I want to go have like ship dogfighting and stuff like that, I wouldn't go to Warframe for it. I would go somewhere else. But that's the thing is that maybe Railjack should never should have been. It's just like I think that they tried to force it down your throat a little too hard. It should have been a more casual thing. It shouldn't have its own set of mods. It shouldn't have its own set of mods. It shouldn't have its own set of weapons. It shouldn't have its own set of anything. You know what it would be? It should be the fucking thing that you get to play every now and then and blow shit up with and just have casual fun with it and get whatever daily reward that you need to get. And then you get out and then that's it. Because that's all it really has to offer. Like, there is no intrinsic fun to be had with mods in Railjack, with weapons in Railjack, with a crew even in Railjack. Or gathering a crew. The crew can be there. Managing the crew can be there. But like recruiting and getting the stats on the crew right. That didn't need to be there for Railjack to have fun. No. And that's the thing.
It didn't need to be that complicated.
That's the padding. That's the feeling that they add so that people get frustrated with the game and spend platinum. You know? And it's that feeling. It's that padding. It's that bullshit that they add that I have a problem with. Yeah. Why couldn't just Warframe be more about here's the cool weapon, the new cool weapon that fucking bounces all over the place and does weird shit. It's not competitive whatsoever, but it's funny. And then go fucking beat these cool boss with it. No, you know? Yeah. Because now they've done a lot of really interesting things with bosses recently. The problem is that it's just not about the bosses anymore. Yeah. It just isn't. Yeah. It's go do this randomly generated daily missions. Go do this randomly generated hourly mission. Go do this randomly generated thing. And you're having fun with that gameplay loop. And eventually it gets boring. And then they come up with, okay, here's a lich. Go figure this out. Or here is a system of parables. Go figure this out. And it's all just filled with like unnecessary systems that prevent the player from just having fun, man. Like, okay, listen. I'm kind of getting sidetracked here, but if I log into Warframe right now, what is it that I want to do? I'll tell you my train of thought right now. I'm gonna go and do sorties because I want the rewards from sorties, and sorties are fun. It's me going in, doing the mission, having fun with my Warframe, and getting out. All right. After I'm done with the sortie, okay, maybe I'm gonna do some bounties. Sure, I've done bounties like for thousands of hours now. I don't care. I'll go do a bounty. It's a randomly generated mission. But hey, guess what? I'm playing with my favorite Warframe right now. I'm having fun. I'm shooting things. I'm blowing shit up. I'm throwing things in the air. I'm having a good time. Okay. Then what am I gonna do? Okay, maybe pop a relic or two, sure. And then at that point, I've had my fun. I played for a couple hours at that point. You know. That's it. And then I'm gonna log out and then go do something else. Yeah. But during that gameplay loop, because I've already have the things that I want, I don't need to spend platinum on anything. Yep. I don't need to spend platinum on anything. But now let's go back to that. Here's a new Warframe. Let's say you have to go do a quest for it. Yep. Cool. I get the new Warframe. I have fun with it. That takes me like a day or two. And then I'm done. And I didn't have to spend platinum. Yeah. Guess what? What are the trains of thoughts that made me want to spend platinum? I'll tell you right now. I fucking logged in. And I saw the Necromech. And I go, holy shit. Necromechs are sick. I want a Necromech. That looks amazing. And then they're like, okay, how do I get a Necromech? Game. Oh, there's a Necromech quest. Okay, let's go do the Necromech quest. I do the Necromech quest. I get the Necromech for a little bit. It's fucking amazing. I'm having so much fun. It's great. Okay, the quest ends. And I didn't learn how to get a Necromech. I don't have a Necromech. I can't go get it anymore. Because I'm not in the quest anymore. I can't play with it anymore. And I'm like, okay. Into the wiki. Fuck it. You know, I'm used to this shit. I'm going to go to the wiki. Go to the wiki. Read on Necromechs. Read on the faction. Okay, I have to do this. I have to finish this quest. Okay, I already did that. Alright, I have to go farm bounties. Oh, okay. Yep. I go and farm bounties. Okay, now you have to rank up. Okay, to rank up, I need this material. Oh, fucking... Where do I get this material? The game doesn't fucking tell me. Back to the wiki. I go to... Okay, go get this. Alright. Okay, cool. Rank up. Go spend 30 minutes to grab the thing. I grab the thing. Go back, rank up. Okay, I gotta keep doing bounties. I do more bounties. Okay, rank up. The next thing. Go get this other fucking thing that you don't know how to get. Alright. At that point, I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna go and keep reading the wiki article, which I'm already doing something I don't want to do. I'm already not having fun. But I'm gonna keep reading the wiki article. And I read everything that I actually have to do. And then all the farming that I actually have to do. And that's when I realized that this is bullshit. This is ridiculous. I have to do so much to get the Necromech.
Yeah, that was my problem with the Necromech. Is like I said. So it's like I had to go in and I had to do the same boring mission a million times to get it.
A million times. And guess what? I could do all of that. Or you could spend 400 platinum.
Yep.
And just skip everything. Yep. And that was the first time through this whole last 3 examples that I've given you where I've wanted to spend platinum. Bullshit. It was like, that's what wanted to make me spend platinum. And again, I'm a veteran player who already spent money in this game, who already spent way more time than any human being has business spending time on a video game in. And even then, I wanted to spend platinum because that's what DE wants. They want everybody to spend platinum. Not just the new players who want the shiny new cosmetic. It's not only the new player who wants to skip the grind. It's everybody. Everybody needs to spend platinum now. And it's just not fun. Because the way that they make you, that they force people to spend platinum is by introducing over-convoluted fucking mechanics.
Yep.
Where they know that the players will go, fuck it, I'm just going to go buy this thing. Oh, I don't have fuck it, whatever, $5, I'm a working adult, I don't care, let's go. And then they'll do that. Because that's it. Because you know what? That wasn't me. I was narrating you what one of my old school friends did that day.
Yeah. No, I was about to say, I know so many old school Warframe players who are just like, new Warframe quest? Nah, I'll just buy it with Plat.
Yeah, because they know that the quest is going to be boring, stupid, and make no sense. And every time that they release a Warframe, they comes with its own quest. And the last time I had fun in a quest was Hero, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like in a Warframe quest, more specifically.
Yeah.
Getting Hero, the Hero quest, brilliant. Love it. I fucking hate horror. It scared the shit out of me. But you know what? At least I was having some semblance of fun. God forbid I have fun playing Warframe. And that's what I think that's what really frustrates me. It's like, why couldn't they just put more effort into making, fun quests? Why not put more effort into making fun bosses? Why not put more effort into making fun fucking, weapons, melee weapons, secondary, whatever weapons.
Yeah.
And then sell us that. Sell us the fun. Don't sell us the skip the grind. Sell us the fun. Sell us the shiny cosmetic. Cosmetics are cosmetics. Nobody fucking cares about cosmetics. You want to look pink? Fine. Pay $5. Look pink. I don't care. But just how much more money do these people need? Like, it's such a fucking thing. And again, a company has to do what is best for their company, which is make as much fucking revenue as humanly possible. But it's just, I don't want to get into the whole capitalism is bad for the world. I don't want to get into that thing. But I just really, really wish that this company who started small, who knows what it's like to work from nothing, from being a nobody, to becoming one of the most relevant companies in the entire fucking gaming industry. I wish at least they would try to, not waste our times and not try to greed us out of our wallets. I wish they would just try to sell us the fun, man. Just sell me the fun things. Sell me the shiny things. Don't frustrate me to a point where I want to spend money. Please. That's all they're asking you. For
sure.
They have such a big player base, man. These idiots, they will eat whatever they give. What I was ranting about the other day in my stream is that it's like Warframe, DE, they've made these over-convoluted systems that is such a pain in the fucking ass. Right? I'm repeating myself, but hold on for a moment. It's such a pain in the fucking ass, but you know what? The player base just eats. They eat all of that shit. They're like, yes, fucking give me more. Yes, I love the pain. Yes, whip me more. That's what I was saying in the stream. It's like these old school players, these veteran players, people in general that play Warframe, they've gotten used to the whip. They've gotten used to the pain. They've gotten used to going to the wiki and reading the wiki for an hour to try to understand what the fuck is going on. They've gotten used to saying fuck it and just spending platinum and skipping the grind. They've gotten used to all the non-fun things about Warframe, and they think that it's okay. They've gotten used to the whip. And worst case scenario, sometimes they even like the whip. They say, "Oh, I like the grind. Oh, I like having to farm for this." No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. You like moving around in Warframe because it's fun. You like blowing shit up because blowing shit up is fun. You like shooting things in the face because shooting things in the face is fun. You like slide attack and cutting things in half because that's fucking fun. You don't like spending 3 hours of your life doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, trying to get one reward that's random, that's out of your fucking control. That's not what you have fun with. You just got used to it. You just think it's normal. You just dole out the pain. And you take it. DE says, here's a new fucking mechanic that you're gonna have to spend 3 weeks grinding on. Wha-pow! Fucking give us money. Wha-pow! And then the players go, yes, daddy. Wha-pow! More daddy, please. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. All these players, they've gotten used to the whip, and that's not okay. And people forget. The worst part is that people forget that that's not okay, man. I wish they would call them out, like more people would like, make all these fucking YouTube videos on DE and say, you know what, DE, this is stupid. You're wasting our time.
Yeah.
Give us the fun. Stop trying to make us spend money all the fucking time. We've already given you literally millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Make your game
and again,
fun
I get
again.
it. And to be fair, they have given us fun. There's a bunch of quests. When I came back, I was having so much fun with the new war. When I finally got my Necromech, I was having a lot of fun with the Necromech, despite all the bullshit that I had to go through to get it, because I decided to not spend plat, because I have fucking principles, goddammit. Anyways.
Yeah.
To be fair, they're not a bad company. They're not. It's just that they could do way better. They could be better. They really, really could, but they don't, because they rather just do the thing that maximizes their profit instead.
Yeah, for sure.
The players have gotten used to that, and that's what I don't like. I really, really despise that.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, it is a problem. It is that I am expressing from a position of, from a very high position. It's kind of weird. Yeah. It's like a first world problem kind of thing, where like I'm already having fun. I'm already enjoying the game, but there's some aspects that frustrate me. But guess what? I'm still having fun, and at the end of the day, I'm thinking to myself, I spent 2 hours playing Warframe today, having fun. That's good enough. I have to take a step back and go, that's good enough. And I sometimes, just because I don't have a job and I don't have like right now, I'm at home doing other stuff. Right. I'm in a position where I can go, okay, 2 hours. Can I keep playing? Can I keep having fun?
Right.
It's just that's when a lot of these things that we're talking about become a bigger problem than it is, than at least it should be in general. But like, the thing is, again, I just wish that a lot more of their focus goes to making sure that A, we're having fun, and B, they're not wasting our time learning things that we're never gonna use again, like Railjack. Again, it's just why the fuck does Railjack need to have a mod system? It doesn't. It doesn't need to have a mod system. Why does it have to have? Why does the crew have to have fucking stats? They don't. They don't need stats. Yeah. They're just there to make you waste more money so that you want to get the better statted crew instead of just the crew that works just fine. 99 out of 10 times, out of 100 times.
Yeah.
It's just
for sure. Yeah, it's very frustrating because they have made a ton of. Oh, my tracking broke for a second. There we go. They've made a
okay. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I have to. I just realized what it is. I just realized that they're doing all these things because it's not okay for them to think that it's okay for the players to think that that's enough. It's not okay for them to let the players think that, oh, I spent 10 hours on this game this week, that I'm okay, I'm good, I can leave now. They don't want that. They don't want that. I just realized that's what it is. They want they want you to play for as long as they can. So they put all this complicated stuff because they know that you're gonna spend millions of hours trying to figure it all out. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
It's the same problem. I've seen it. It's like it's the same problem with gacha games too. They want you to keep playing. Now, one nice thing, I guess, that's slightly different is at least Warframe doesn't force you to shell out money to continue. Yeah. But they do want you to keep coming back, and I think it's the same problem with many games. And the irony is that I almost feel like Warframe has done a lot of the same, fallen into a lot of same traps that a lot of PvP games have fallen into, and it needs to. What I would say is, and I would encourage it, is it needs to get back to its roots in the essence of, all right, we're making a game that at the end of the day, all that matters is that people are enjoying the gameplay, and all that matters is people are facing challenges that they can't overcome without shelling money out. And that's the problem, is it's like they've thrown in challenges that people feel like they can't overcome without shoving money at it.
Yeah, they really have. Yeah. Truly. How is a new player supposed to get a necromech, for example, without...
Yeah.
They can't. It's just too difficult. It's just too much. They don't have the mods. They don't have the warframes. They don't have the weapons. They don't have anything that lets them get the shiny thing that you just showed them.
Yeah. But and it's anyways. Like, I would have the mods and I would have the warframes, except that I have to pay platinum for more warframe slots.
Oh, yeah, right. And that's something that I totally forget, because, again, I'm such a long-time player that I just forget. Warframe slots, for me, they're not a problem. 20 plat, whatever, I have 1,000 million plat.
Yeah.
But a new player, that's different, you know? I totally forgot about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and so it's the same problem there of, like, the reason why I wouldn't have a Nova is because at one point I was farming Warframe, and I was like, fuck, what Warframe do I not need? I don't use Nova that much. I'll throw her away. And now I come into a quest where it's like, if I want to be successful in it, I have to have Nova. I can't play Trinity. I can't play, Hydroid. I can't play, even my prime Warframes are not enough to get through it. I have to have the specific mechanic that makes the quest easy. Otherwise, I'm stuck requeuing with children for 9 hours and failing the quest because I'm not carrying. And it's like, I don't want to have to carry. Sometimes I want to just be able to go play Trinity and have fun playing Trinity, or go play Hydroid and have fun playing Hydroid. And it's like,
you could do it solo. You really could. But when, it's just that it just takes so much longer to do it solo. And the queue system is there and all. But like other players can just screw it all up for you. Sometimes there's a troll. Yeah. Sometimes there's a hacker. Sometimes there's somebody with a fucking obnoxious disco ball going all over the place, blasting the most obnoxious soundtrack that they could generate in the game.
Yeah, it's just like, and sometimes you end up with a limbo that will just decide to arbitrarily halt your progress for as many ults as he can do.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. Hold on. The other thing that I want to touch on real quick is that I think that wouldn't be a problem if people were more okay with being like, oh, okay, well, it might take me a long time, but at least I'm going to do it solo and I'm going to have fun doing it solo, right? Because I did it solo, but I did it solo because I was trying to figure out which Warframe is best suited for this. So I went in solo, and after a few tries, that's how I ended up in Nova, because I realized, Nova is actually great for this because it slows the necromech and the creeps. It CCs. It can stay alive. That's how I realized that. But like, again, a new player, it's gonna hit a fucking brick wall.
Yeah,
and even somebody who isn't necessarily new but hasn't spent a million hours in the game trying to figure everything out, like you. They go in, they're gonna hit a fucking brick wall regardless.
I have 2,500 hours in the game, and I have like half of my Warframes are prime, and like I think I have all of the assets required. But the problem that I have is not that I don't have Nova. It's I don't want to play Nova. Nova is not fun for me. I don't enjoy playing Nova. I want to play the Warframes I want to play. And if I can't complete what I want to complete with the Warframe I want to play, what's the point?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair.
It's like I can complete, and this is what I think is interesting, is like it's optimal to take Avara and Loki into spy missions, but you don't have to.
No.
You can complete a spy mission easily as any Warframe.
Any Warframe. And that's what like, a lot of people... It frustrates me when people say, "Oh, I hate spy missions." No, you fucking don't. Spy missions make you think. It doesn't matter what Warframe. First, it doesn't matter what Warframe you bring. They're so fucking well designed that all you have to do is pay attention. It's like you no longer have to just hold W and shoot. You have to stop, look around, think, figure things out, and then you go in.
Now, what I will say,
oh my god,
spy missions get pretty boring when you're farming Avara.
Yeah. Well, anything gets boring when you have to do it 20 million times. That's not the problem of the spy mission. It's that the spy mission is presented in front of you 20 times in a row.
Yeah, and also the fact that after a while, they're all the same spy mission, which I do like the change that they've made of adding new maps. I think they need to do more of that too.
Yeah,
add new maps.
I like that.
Add new maps. Make me have to learn a new map.
Yeah, spy missions are genius. Absolute genius.
I agree.
The one fucking mission that actually made players stop and think and figure things out. Brilliant. We need more missions like that, and they need to be, again, they need to be doable with any Warframe, right?
Yep.
They need to force players to fucking use the goddamn brains for 2 seconds for once, instead of just spamming 24/7, and they need to give you good rewards. The spy missions, at the time when they first came out, they gave us some pretty awesome rewards. They gave you hybrid mods, they give you rare mods, they give you Vara pieces with the new Warframe. It was great. I remember when spy missions were introduced. I was playing that time. It was a fun time.
Same.
My friend was like at first like, oh shit, I can't figure this out. Man, this is so weird. Like, yes, you can figure it out. Just stop here, stop and think. And then he did just that. It's like after a few failed attempts, he got it. It clicked with him, and then it was like, okay, I get it. He can start having fun. And
learnable mechanics, solvable puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Learnable mechanics, solvable puzzles.
In Jupiter, they added those new like spy missions that you said. I still haven't gone through all of them, and I'm having fun. I'm figuring it out as I go. It's good, and I don't know. We need more of that, man. We need a new spy mission. That's what we need. New types of missions that are like spy missions that aren't necessarily spy missions. But that's difficult, It's difficult to come up with all that shit. But guess what? We as the players, we've given DE enough money that they can fucking hire someone that can figure it out. They really can. They have no excuse. Yeah. No excuse.
And
they have the money, they have the manpower, and they have the time. Do it.
Yeah. Make railjack missions where you have to think.
God forbid, man.
Yeah. God forbid that railjack missions are more than just point at enemy, pull trigger, because that's what they are at the end of the day. And I get that.
I'll give you the free pass here. I'll give you a freebie. Here we go. You know how in Deimos there's the 2 big fuck off worms?
Yeah.
They look so sick. Have you ever you see the animation of when they change back and forth?
Yeah.
Why can't we fight them?
Yeah.
Why can't we fight them?
Yeah.
Oh, they're too big to fight, doesn't make sense. Okay. Figure out a way. Oh, geez, maybe we need some big fucking machine to fight these fucking things. Oh, look, what is that? Is that a necromech? These things are specifically designed to fucking fight tough infested. Oh, geez, if only we could come up with some sort of big machine that we could use to fight the big worms. That would be fucking fantastic. It would be amazing. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Necromis is still too small to fight the big fuck off worm. Let's do it in the Railjacks, Let's try around. How fucking fun and cool would it be to get into the Railjacks and use them to fight the big boss worms that we're not allowed to fight and have fun with right now? Why not that? Let's do freebie, DE. Let's use Railjacks and fucking fight Vom and Vor, whatever the fuck the names were. I can't remember.
Yeah, also, just want to say, Vom and Vor are too big. Okay, but we fight the fucking giant-ass robots on Orb Valis all the fucking time with our normal-ass weapons. We fight the Ideolons all the fucking time, and they're not that big, but they're pretty fucking big.
Yeah. Why not just maybe... that's the thing. Why are they so afraid of letting us fight big fuck-off monsters? Yeah.
We're
space ninjas from the future. that aren't even human. We're robots. Like, let us do really out of the top, over the top, fucking
impossible things,
but not just in the quests that we can only do once. Like in the New War, where you're fucking flying into the sun to fight the bad guy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, spoilers.
It's fine.
Like that was cool. That was epic, and that you have to use the railjack to do that, and that was awesome. Why can't we just, you know, since we already have the railjack because you gave it to us, why not fight more big fucking things with set railjack, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta phase 1. We have to use the railjack to fucking open a hole into the big goddamn worm, and then use the Arcwing to fly into the worm to get into a boss fight inside, and then the final boss is actually the heart of the big fucking worm, and then we kill it, and that would be so fucking epic and cool.
That would be fucking awesome. Why can't we do that?
Yeah, they have so much creative space to do really, really cool and fun and interesting things, but instead they have us farming mods. Instead they have us farming bits and pieces of whatever the fuck, you know?
Yeah, of kicking. I can proudly say I've never built a kit gun. I've never built one.
They're not. I can see why. I mean, you have to like see. When the kit guns first came out, I didn't build one either. I thought they were overrated and they were OP. They were overpowered. They were the best weapons in the game. When they first came out, they were absolutely the best weapons in the game. But you know what? I saw them and like, that looks so fucking awful. That it just looks like another whatever weapon. And it's like, what? No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I've come around now. Now that I've actually gotten the rep, you know, over time, slowly over time, not killing myself over it. I farmed the rep so that I can craft the kit gun that I want. When I had the availability to just put together whatever kit gun I wanted without having to grind for 5 hours straight, that's when I had fun with kit guns. Now I use a kit gun all the time.
Yeah.
You know, but when they first came out, you had to, not only did you have to farm the rep for them, you had to like farm the materials for them, and then you could put it together, and then you could have fun. It's like, but like 2 years later, 2 years after kit guns came out, and I had all the materials already done just from doing other things at random. And then I reapproached the kit gun system with everything already grinded over time. Then I realized, oh, this looks fun. Let's do this. And then I made my kit gun, and then I had fun with it.
Right.
Why couldn't that be just the case right off the fucking bat, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, why is there such a fucking grind?
Yeah, it's the same problem. And I feel like that the grind problem has been in Warframe for a long time. But I definitely feel like part of it is like, okay, so now I also have to understand another layer deep of the kit guns is you have to understand all the stats of the kit guns, what they mean. And it's like, I don't want to have to go look up
you can't even look it up first because you can't even look it up first because guess what, motherfucker? You have to fucking farm to get the pieces first.
Yeah.
So like, okay, listen.
Yeah.
It's the whole point of kit gun, the whole design, or at least the design intent of kit guns is that let's let the players craft their own gun. In a system like that, I get it. We have to look up what each part does and what stats it provides. Let's not talk about right now. For now, let's not talk about the problem that it is that the game doesn't fucking tell you what stats they give. You have to go look it up in the wiki. But whatever. Let's put it to the side. But like, that's fun. Like, the idea is fun. The idea is great. What's the problem? It's locked behind a grind. Why? Or Ballis came out. The new Corpus City came out. There's already a massive undertaking of grinding that rep. Why is it that on top of that we also have to grind for kit guns? Why couldn't you just give us that freebie, man? Why couldn't you just let us have fun? Oh, guys, look, we released a new mission type, a new open world, and a new faction. Why was that just not good enough? Why couldn't they just, hey guys, make your own gun and go out there and have fun with this new gun while you experience everything else. Why did it have to be locked right away behind the rep? It didn't have to. It was just there to fucking make you waste more time.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's really it. We were not allowed to have fun. We were not allowed to have the full fun right off the bat.
Yeah.
And I think the game is worse off because of that. You know,
I would agree.
Because now look at you. I'm not trying to like point fingers or anything, but like you. I don't want to say hate, but you have a negative opinion of kit guns now because that's how they were introduced to you.
Yeah,
you didn't have to.
I have a negative opinion of kit guns. It could have been a fun thing. Not only do I have a negative opinion of kit guns because they were introduced to me that way, I have a negative opinion of kit guns because it feels like the problem in like gacha games where it's like, okay, so now I either have to invest an inordinate amount of time or a crazy amount of hours to be viable, just to be on the same level as everyone else. I have to invest a crazy amount of time and effort. And it's like...
Guess what? That goes back to what we talked about last time, too. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, and the problem is like, for some people who already have who already did all of the grinding ahead of time because they just loved, because they just loved Eidolon, which I was the thing, like, when Eidolon came out, I didn't really like it. I didn't even really enjoy Eidolon hunting because I was playing solo.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Eidolon hunts,
you know,
and when Eidolon hunts first came out, there was no like. I felt bad going into an Eidolon hunt with all these people because I'm like, I'm not going to do jack shit. I'm not going to help them. I don't have any skills or any value here, really. They're just going to carry me. And that was my problem with the Eidolon hunts. And I feel like this is another problem in Warframe's mechanics is like, there's no entry level Eidolon hunt. There's no Eidolon hunt that gets you into hunting Eidolons. You have to know what you're doing ahead of time, and then you have to kill Eidolons to become strong enough to kill them. So you have to be carried to get good at Eidolon hunting. You have to be. Because all of the things that you need to kill Eidolons are locked behind hunting Eidolons.
Yeah, and so that is a problem that they realized, though. But they did change it. I think they did realize that it was a problem, and they did fix that problem. But again,
it was too late.
We talked about earlier is that they not only was it too late, but they didn't fix it in that system. They just came up with a new system and did it there. What's that new system, you might say? The Profit Taker. Yeah. Profit Takers are the Eidolons that should have a way of getting into them. Because if you want to go do Profit Taker and you don't have if you don't have an Archon, doesn't fucking matter. You can blow up the shield, you can deal with elemental damage, you can help, you can be useful, but not in Eidolons.
Yeah.
You know? But that's the thing, they did realize that. It's just they didn't fix it in Eidolons, they fixed it in their next thing.
Yeah. And that was my problem with Eidolon hunting, and my problem with Plains of Eidolon was like the whole point of Plains of Eidolon was to get to the point where you could hunt Eidolons, and then it's literally called the Plains of Eidolon. And then I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it solo. I had to rely on other people, and like I don't know, it just felt like it was one of those things where it's like, all right, so I'm an adult now. I have a full-time job. I can't grind.
What's that? Giving companies having respect for your time? Get out of here, man.
I don't have the time,
man. You're living in the
to
past,
keep up with the content. And now that I don't have the time,
logging in. Imagine logging in for an hour to have fun after a long day of work, and then realizing that you can't have fun. Fuck, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly the problem, man.
And it's like, I'm looking at like, if I wanted to hunt Eidolons, you know, and I had a friend who helped me get started, and it's like, if I wanted to get started hunting Eidolons, I had to grind for like 3 full days of my free time just to be able to start breaching the surface. And even then I couldn't even really get into it because it was like, I still needed a friend to be able to defeat an Eidolon.
Yeah. Well, you do, because they were balanced around the fact that you're supposed to have a full party to hunt them. But no, man, it is just the companies, video game companies, have lost the respect
for time,
for people's time. They really have. They think that it's okay for them to force you to spend all of your spare time playing their game. It's again such a massive disrespect of people's time when I see a system like that, and then I realize just how much it's asking from me. It's like so annoying. It's not even about just like people liking the whip. It's just straight up disrespect for people who work, who are trying to enjoy their favorite pastime, they're trying to enjoy their favorite game, and they fucking can't. They really can't.
Yeah. Unless I'm constantly introducing, ironically enough, new players to play with, who then, if they have the free time, will very quickly eclipse where I'm at in the game and not be able to and just be farther than I am in the game. Even though I've invested a crazy number of hours in it, now it's like if they invest, like it's a full-time job, they'll probably be where I'm at, even though I have 2,500 hours in the game. After like a couple hundred hours, they'll have everything that I have, because they keep on. That's the other thing that DE does that really bothers me. This really bothered me with the Railjack, actually. Do you know how many credits the Railjack required to build when you first fucking built it originally?
No.
7.5 million credits to build the Railjack.
What the fuck?
Each one of its components required 1 million credits. And then to complete it, it required 500,000. The only way I got it easily is because I found a cheese method in the index. Because I could win the index. I could go to like some crazy level in the index with Valbin Prime, because he could literally just lock down the enemies and force them to not be able to move for like 35 fucking seconds, which was enough to kill them all.
The index is its own fucking Band-Aid patch of a different problem.
Of a different problem, of an economy problem of them not giving enough credits. But see,
all these problems, again, it's just them introducing bullshit at random, having their players tested for them in their live product, and then asking them to pay them. It's like the QA team is basically just the players, and then instead of paying the QA team, they have the QA team pay them for testing. This is fucking stupid. Okay, and
then after I was done building the Railjack, and I played around with the Railjack, and I had fun with it, right? They released an update, and to build the Railjack, they cut the cost by to 1 million, I think, to build the whole thing.
Yeah,
and I was like,
"That's what
the fuck." Now it costs way less than I had to invest into it, simply because you realized that it was unreasonable to request that of your players.
God forbid they could refund the players that spend the fucking 7 million credits. But that's the thing. You know why they don't refund that? They totally can, because they've done it in the past. I can tell you right now, they 100% could have made a fucking CSV file of all the players who have crafted the Railjack up to that point, and then returned the credits. Because they just, again, they don't value players' times them as much as they really should. So they think they thought, as much as they should, oh, honey, you just spent 5 hours farming 7 million credits. That's more than nothing. That. You don't need a refund for that. You're fine without it.
I think I was making 250,000 every 15 minutes in the index, something like that.
And I know how it works. Yeah, but again, it's just that's the thing, is that the standard that they have for spending time on or valuing actual time / resource is so high that when they realize that they fucked up and then they made their players spend 7 million credits, they go, oh, it's whatever. They don't need a refund.
Yeah.
They're fine with that.
Whatever. It's fine. Yeah.
Assholes.
SMH.
Absolute. It's fucking asshole move, really.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They could have 100% refunded it. And again, they've done it in the past because they've come back. Like some glitch or bug would show up that would require players to get a refund, and they would refund things, or there would be a mechanic where they would change a mechanic and then a mod becomes useless because that mechanic for that mod is not there. Then you know what? They fucking dissolve the mod and then they refund you all the endo or all the that you spend on it. Because that's what happened when I logged in back recently, because I hadn't played since 2015. Sorry, 2019. There's some mods that just straight up don't work anymore. They refunded it and they gave me the endo. So they could totally do it. And even before endo was a thing, they would give you credits or they would give you potatoes. So they would give you something. So they 100% could have refunded every single player that spent money on the Railjack. But they didn't. Because, again, they don't value the player's time like they used to.
Yeah.
Or maybe they never really did. I don't know. But that's just the problem. They don't value your time. They don't respect your time. They expect you to spend your life on this fucking game and your life's earnings on this fucking game. And then that's it. It's like, that's what they want. Yeah. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
Really
Which is ironic because, we talk about a lot of games that have problems, and it's like, that is one thing that I respect highly about Overwatch. It's like a huge part of their balancing and focus is making sure that people can play the game in their free time. Matches are 15 minutes long, maximum, and it's like, I can play 8 rounds of Overwatch and be like, all right, I'm done for the night, and then go to bed, and it's like, that's not that big of a time investment. But then I have to get on Warframe, and if I want to get a Necrolisk, I've got to either deal with children every other match for 17 hours straight, or I can try to solo grind for 24 hours, or I can try my best to get like an LFG in a Warframe community or something like that, and then I have to go interact with strangers who might be toxic, and it's like all of these risks and all of it for a reward. And then I look at it, and at the end of the day, I'm like, I just don't. The Necrolisk is not interesting enough for me to spend 400 platinum or spend 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not interesting enough for me. And granted, that's partly me, and I know that it was interesting enough for a lot of players, but I feel like there are a lot of players in my position where they were like, it's just not worth it. Why do I have to grind for another thing and another thing and another thing when, like, all right, is this necessary? It's not right now. But then the problem is that in 9 months, they release next update, and you can't do it without a Necrolisk because they've assumed up to that point that everyone has gotten a Necrolisk who needs to play the game. Yeah. And it's just like, ugh, I couldn't. It's very disrespectful and disconcerting. Let's move on. Yeah. We've spent enough time on this. Character assassination of digital extremes.
Actually, yes. And we're not the only ones, I'm sure, but like it is something that more people need to talk about for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Yu-Gi-Oh! You want to share screens? Okay. Let's fucking play a game, man.
Sure.
God forbid we have fun.
Yeah. God forbid we have fun playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me. Oh, actually, I want to.
I can start talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually,
okay.
So what I really like about this game, again, I told you about this thematic things. Can you share screens with me?
Yeah, sure.
Or stream it so I can hear the audio too. But like, dude, mastered. Oh my god. There we go. Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck up your whole thing for a bit there. Okay.
That's okay. All right, just go ahead. Go ahead and play.
Okay.
Let me-
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn change draw phase. My phase.
Yep. All right. Oh man, that one. Cool. Okay. Smashing ground.
So now you're being introduced to a different type of card. Ooh.
Oh my. Okay.
It's a different color.
Thank you, game, for telling me I've activated a spell card. Oh, is there... Okay, I'll just put it there. I don't know. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. For that purpose, it doesn't matter where you put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Goodbye, AI. That... Excellent. Okay. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. Let's go. Cool. Okay.
So
I got some gem things. Okay.
A few mechanics that the game didn't tell you there is that you first podcast tuning into. Hey, welcome, man. We're actually we're done ranting for like 2 hours. We're actually just playing some games.
Yeah, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh now. Okay. All right. So I like.
This man has never played Yu-Gi-Oh.
I have. That is correct. The game is forcing me into not reading this card, and I'm not going to let it force me into anything. Chosen by the World Chalice. I like this guy. Reminds me of the main character in High School DxD. Yeah. Inspired by World
Tilly,
Legend.
my chat says hi.
Okay. Hello, chat. Thank you. Oh. Hi, Sam. Sorry, Index Store. This is a friend of mine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. So chosen by the World Chalice. This dude, yeah, definitely High School DxD-esque. Okay, but I'm supposed to do this.
Oh, you're gonna get me canceled, man. Come on.
Hey, we're allowed to talk about it. We just can't show it, okay? Let's summon a monster. Okay. This guy doesn't look like a monster, but he is from High School DxD, so that would make sense.
He's his own type of monster, man.
He's his own type of monster. Exactly. No problem about being late. It is fine. Okay.
Yeah, so traps are a special kind of card that can be activated during your opponent's turn.
Yes.
So you can read the effect.
You've activated my trap card.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. This guy's gaming.
Cool. Okay. I got a trap card completion. Okay. Blade Knight. Excellent. Okay. Some cards can be activated from your graveyard for a special effect. Activate skill successor in your graveyard. Okay. It
is. He's never watched the anime either.
I have not. I've never watched the anime, and I've never played the game, and I'm very confused. Your monster has been powered up by a card in your graveyard. Excellent. Summon another monster. I can do that. I'm going to summon you over here because I feel like it. What does this dude do? Gains 4 attack while you have 1 or less cards in your hand. Okay, that's neat. All right. Blade Knight. I like his. Okay. I'm sure this will be entertaining for our podcast listeners.
Oh, we can just cut the podcast at that point.
It's true. I might do that. Attack. Try attacking with a monster. I won't cut it for the YouTube video. I think I want to attack with that one, obviously. Oh, I can attack with both. Yeah. Legit. Ha. Yep. Get dumped on, noob. I don't even know.
Wow. This guy is toxic.
Yeah.
That's toxic. I will
be. Listen, I came out of League of Legends, man. I am toxic. Don't even at me. Okay. Am I playing against a real person now?
No, not yet.
No. Okay. All right. So I've got some things here. Now remember everything you've learned so far to claim this next boot. I don't know if I can remember everything. There is an app for this? Yeah.
Yes. You can play on your phone.
Cool.
If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask.
So what does setting do?
It puts it in face down defense position.
All right.
So when it battles, so click on the monster real quick on the left.
Okay.
Open the. Okay, so on the bottom right of the card itself, there is an attack
defense 0
and a defense value.
I see. All right. So when you're set, you're using your defense value?
Correct. But when a monster attacks a defense monster, you don't lose life points. That's the difference. But if a monster attacks over your monster, you lose life points. Well, either way, you lose the monster, and life points are technically a resource. But usually, you go with the stat that's the highest. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Like you put them in defense if you need to survive like a big fucking attack next turn or something like that, or if a monster has an effect while in defense mode.
Oh, what is that? Okay.
You set your spell card, so you can still activate it. Yeah, it's just a interesting thing.
Does that only last for one turn?
So that's a field spell. Field spells stay in the field until they get destroyed. So you can activate it and it'll stick around.
Okay, cool. All right. And I can play as many cards as I want? Or like...
You can only summon once, but you can set or activate spell cards as many as you want. Trap cards, you can also set them, but you cannot activate them.
Yeah.
And the reason you cannot activate your spell card right now is because the effect doesn't target anything, because your opponent doesn't have anything right now.
Okay. Yeah.
So the game doesn't let you do something that you can't do, if that makes sense.
Should I do that?
Read what this spell does real quick.
Yeah, so
click on this spell. No. So your opponent activated a spell. You see the 1?
You can destroy the target. Yeah, so I can destroy that.
No.
And
click on that. That's the spell he's activating.
Yeah.
Okay. So read what it does.
You know what? He's going to destroy mine, so I might as well.
Okay. So
cool.
Now you see this menu here. Chain 2.
Sure. I guess.
Yep.
Okay.
Now you may notice that your field spell got destroyed anyways.
Yes.
So it has to do with how the stack works in Yu-Gi-Oh! So when an effect activates and you have a response, the effects stack on top of one another.
Mm-hmm.
And they go in the order Philo. First in, last out.
Okay.
The effect that you had for your trap card was to destroy his spell, but destroying a spell doesn't necessarily negate its effect. So when you chained it, it was a second chain, right? So first in, last out. First your destruction happens, but his effect is already activated, so his effect is going to happen anyways. If that made sense.
Yeah.
So the play was actually not to activate that trap. It was just to wait. Yeah. And then you could activate the trap to destroy the current trap that he has, but whatever.
I see.
Yeah.
What is main phase 2?
It's just another phase. It's just a main phase 1, except that after that you can't go into battle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are both this evening except the ranting? We had fun. I had fun ranting for sure.
I did.
I just want to see this guy.
You can go listen to it on Spotify later, hopefully tomorrow. So, okay. What does this do? tribute one monster, then target one card your opponent controls, then destroy. Sure.
Remember, trap cards cannot be activated the same turn that you set them in.
Yeah.
I thank you for the follow.
Okay. I think that's all. Okay. I don't know. Sometimes I'm overthinking, I think. But
so sometimes the best play is just a more straightforward play.
I think I just won. Great.
Yep.
Okay. Just
nothing too crazy.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks, game. I have finished the tutorial. There are so many cards in Duelist ready for me to... I'm sure there are. Venture out into the wide world of dueling. Okay. I don't... Okay.
You go back on the top left. You skipped the menu on accident.
Ah. I like dragons.
I would recommend I would just recommend the dragons one because the dragon is the more simple deck. Everybody says to just pick the dragons to new players.
I like dragons. Dragons are cool.
I mean, it has blue eyes, white dragon in it, so you might as well.
It's true. Powerful engine of destruction, virtually invincible. Awesome. Cool. Okay.
Let me see if I can launch my game. We can play. We can do some 1v1s.
Oh, God. This will take a while.
Yes. I forgot about that. Sorry. How good is your download speed?
Not that good.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, it's going to be a while.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn it.
Well...
Well, I guess we can record here. We can record here the outro for your.
Yeah, let's do that.
Podcast.
Let's do the outro for the podcast real quick. I do have an outro made that I'll have at the end of everything that includes music, but I sent both those, the intro and the outro, to you. I don't know if you listened to them. That's what I was planning on using for intro and outro, but it's always good to have an actual outro where we talk about where to find you, and obviously, you know, promoting your Twitch as much as I can. So, even though it's not that helpful.
The problem we had last time is that my computer fucking blue screen.
That is true. It did.
To record.
His computer crashed at the end of the recording. So
thankfully it was at the end and not in the middle, and we did get your outro, but Tully, could you pretty please tell us once more, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on twitch.tv/Cthulhu Tilly. You can find me on Twitter at the same place, but I don't really check it. Cthulhu Tilly as well there. You can find me on now. Our podcast is officially on Spotify. I have many links. You can find our podcast, Chatting in the Void, pretty much anywhere where podcasts are found at this point. I'm waiting. The holdouts are Pandora and iHeartRadio, but most of the major ones, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, all of that has been completed. So that's super exciting. Please go give us a follow on whatever your chosen podcast venue is, if you have one, or you can go ahead and find us on YouTube, Chatting in the Void as well.
I think we should rename it to Ranting into the Void, really, because that
might be good. Really although I don't know, I like the friendly nature of Chatting in the Void. I feel like it's good.
All right, so just for the record, everything that's being uploaded to to the podcast places. That's all Tilly. I ain't doing shit. All I do is stream and talk and rant.
It's true.
This is all Tully's work for sure. And again, I'm very thankful for you doing all of that, because
Absolutely.
I do not have the skill set to try to fucking figure all that stuff out.
That's all right.
I lost all my remaining learning brain cells trying to figure out how to make this model happen.
Yeah. And playing Warframe.
I'm playing Warframe too, yes. Anyways, right now you can only find me at twitch.tv/Halleck25. That's the only place where you can find me. I'm going to be making a Discord server, hopefully by the end of next week, because I finally got a schedule. I got my schedule, and I actually stuck to my schedule. So I'm going to be getting affiliate, and I'm going to be getting a Discord server so that, if anybody wants to fucking follow me through that, they can do that. I am not on Twitter. I am not on Facebook. I am not on YouTube yet. The only platform where I really am on is on Twitch, and maybe YouTube later, and Discord. That's going to be it.
Awesome.
So if you want more of my bullshit, you have to go to Twitch.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
If you need copium amounts of sodium, please visit my bots, and you'll get plenty of salt right there.
It's true.
From playing Yu-Gi-Oh all day.
It's true. Lots of this game, which is now at 25% downloading.
I'm like a fucking mine of sodium.
We appreciate you listening to Chatting in the Void with Cthulhu Tilly and Halleck. You can find a video version of our podcast on YouTube and our audio podcast anywhere where podcasts are found. Go give Halleck a follow at twitch.tv/Halleck25 and catch our podcast live at 7 p.m. EST most Saturdays. Have a wonderful day, or night, or whatever. Thank you for joining us in the Void. Hope to see you next time.